Well, hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here on our Team Prosperity meeting. Today is October 17th, 2018, and it's just such an exciting time right now. The last quarter of the year, it's our busiest time, so things are just really, really moving, and I hope things are moving great for you as well. I've put together a little PowerPoint, and I know Mike's put together some great training as well, so we'll just go ahead and get right into it. I appreciate everybody's time. I know how valuable it is, and I appreciate everybody taking the time to listen to the recording if that's what you're doing. So I want to go ahead and get started. A few things that have come up through the week that I wanted to discuss. The first thing, just a few things that we're all getting via email. Some really, really good pieces of information here. This one talks about, an estimated 30 trillion is expected to move amongst generations in the coming years. It's about to pass from baby boomers to their children and grandchildren. So we definitely want to take part in this and helping families get educated about their options and how best to preserve their capital. The other great thing that came this week was talking a little bit about children. And it's so important that what we do for families. I know a lot of you guys and girls know what's going on with our son. We were fortunate enough to get him an IUL when he was 1, and by 2 years old, he was already disabled. So to get a child a permanent policy that they're going to have for the rest of their life that accumulates cash is really, really nice. But with Transamerica, you have to keep in mind the parent has to have twice as much death insurance as the child is applying for, and the parent has to be the owner. So those are a few things that you want to keep in mind. And about $250,000 is the most that Transamerica usually likes to give to children. But if they're like in college age, 15, 16, 17, and maybe they're studying for a higher profession like medical or law, sometimes they're able to get up to $500,000. So the other thing I wanted to talk about that's come up a lot lately is for the people who do the consulting, how do we get that information to the underwriters? There's always an underwriter name on every file, and their email is their first name, period, last name at transamerica.com. But even easier than that is to actually just drop the information right into somebody's file. So for example, I just picked a file for Mark Narozny, just a client. I would click on the 6600 number to pull up his policy and what's going on with it. And then on the left, you're going to see this pending status detail. If you click on upload documents, you would just drop it right there in the file. So you click the policy number, you click on upload documents, you click on drop files here, and that's going to let you access all the files on your computer, wherever they're saved. And then you would pick the file that you want, and then you would select new business or whatever category the attachment is. And that completely bypasses every human being there and attaches it directly to the file, meaning within 2 or 3 hours, they have that information for the case manager and the underwriter to review. So it's not as quick as calling it in. Sometimes if it's a question to an answer, you can just call it in and they'll update it right there. But if you're submitting paperwork, like a signed illustration or signed delivery requirements, uploading them like this is going to give you the quickest results. If you need my help with this or anything else that has to do with underwriting, appointments, licensing, that's really one of my specialties. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about is building a pipeline and having that pipeline pay off for you. So I've given you all a few options or a few examples of something that came up last week from my birthday. And as you know, on LinkedIn, it's going to share that you're having a birthday with your network. So here's just a few things that happened. You could see the first person, I sent my my little, thanks for connecting, I look forward to getting to know you, etc. Well, he obviously didn't look at it until Sunday when he said, happy birthday, my email is and my phone number is, thanks and have a happy birthday. Right? So you just never know what's going to remind people, oh, yeah, she does that virtual thing. I'm interested now. Here's another example. Happy birthday. Have a fun day. Thank you so much. He's looking for regional directors, blah, blah, blah. So I said, yeah, you can expand virtually with almost no overhead. Take a look at these 2 videos. And then he's like, okay, great. Here's my phone number. Here's my email. and he's already opened the email a few times, so I actually left him a voicemail this morning. Here's another one. This one says, happy birthday. I said, thank you so much. This person wants to know a little bit more. So I said, if you want information, please provide your best email and phone number. I'd be happy to send you some overview material. So I've got his cell number, his email address, and then here's my last example. This was from January. He congratulated me on a work anniversary. I said, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. My business is exploding. Are you interested in building distribution in a $6 trillion industry with a digital disruptive model? So he says, happy birthday, send me more info. He just saw this from January. So what's your best email and phone number? He actually provided it for me. He's, on my follow-up list for today. So you just never know, everybody has a birthday, but it's about building out a pipeline because you just never know when people will trickle back in. And so I wanted to go over that. Oh, that went kind of quick. I've got 2 more slides. I know I've posted both of these in our Facebook group, but not everybody's in the Facebook group. I really feel like these 2 things relate a lot to our business. Sacrifice a few years of partying for decades of freedom. I feel like this slide explains me the most. And then here's another really good one about solving problems. It shows that most people just try and fail and try and fail and try and fail and give up. But what we're doing as a team is we try, we fail, we adjust, we analyze, we try again, and we just constantly get better and more efficient and more successful. So excited that everybody's here. If you want to meet us in person, we're going to be at the WealthWave Convention, January 30th to February 2nd in Las Vegas. I know a few of you are already coming, so really excited to see everybody in person. Of course, it's optional. We do get together a few times a year just to meet up and have a good time and better ourselves. So that's everything that I have. Let me go ahead and get Mike. I know he's got a great presentation for us. Bear with me just for 1 second. Thanks.
All right, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well today. We're going to go through some things today that have come up during the week. And on that note, anything that you guys want to see during these meetings, just let us know. We'll structure the meetings around what you guys want to see. Also, managers, if somebody comes into your organization, they're new, they've got questions, we've got a whole backlog of these meetings. For example, I went through the whole HubSpot certification for social media, compiled all the best information into one meeting that we did, 2 or 3 months ago. So that's always in the back YouTube channel. Also, if you ask, I can pull up any of those meetings that you want to send to your new partners. We've got a treasure trove of information they can dive into. And going off what Alana said about the WealthWave convention, we would love to see you guys. We had a number of people out there last year. Not only is it a time to get to know each other, hang out socially, but you also have some breakout groups where we can sit in the same room, talk to each other. You guys can get a lot of great information from just hanging out with people, not only the structured part of the convention, but those breakout groups as well. So definitely want to invite all of you guys who can to make it out there. It's a great place. Yes, we're virtual, and that's good. We don't have meetings, but it's also good to get to know each other on a social basis as well. This is one of the things that you really want to get your mindset in, a huge growth mindset. Now, if you're coming into this company and you've got, something that you want to build out, which is a little bit of part-time income per month, that's fine. But I'm talking to people who come in that want to disrupt this industry, build a large-scale organization, and create a cash flow asset that spins off a lot of passive income. In order to get there, quit being reasonable. We're going to have to defy the odds. You're going to have to change your thinking. You're going to stop comparing yourself against the average, because once you stop comparing yourself against the average and once you quit being unreasonable, it's going to lead to great things. We're always talking about that growth mindset. That's where the focus should be. Positive energy, positive thoughts. Don't let people drag you down. This is what the 1% in your state looks like. This is what it takes to get up to that level. You can pick out your state and see what is the 1% earning in my state. Guys, in a business like this, it's not hard to get up to these numbers. And remember, this is going to be passive income at some point. So it puts you in a rare sample size of the population where, yes, you have financial freedom, but you also have that time freedom, lifestyle freedom. Remember, I'm from a school of thought where I want you to come up with a number, whether it's 100 grand, 200 grand, 500 grand, 7 figures, whatever it might be. Use that income calculator to back out of that number, reverse engineer that back down to daily activity. It's just getting a constant rhythm of activity started, and then from that point, becoming a better marketer, manager, and if you choose to do so, consulting. One other thing that Alana mentioned about the consulting, also get to know the other providers, Nationwide, Pacific Life. Get to know the people at Crump. We've got a whole big platform. You should be able to access that and know about that for your clients. If the opportunity is good, all you have to do is share it. And that's really what we're doing. We do not push people to come into the company. If you get into that habit, you're going to bring in the wrong people. A lot of negative energy comes in. People aren't going to do anything but complain, and that's going to drag you down. So what we want to do is if somebody says, yes, I'm interested in learning more about your company, what you guys do, and you send out those videos, you push people to watch the videos. And that's very important. You don't want to dump a lead because of non-communication. If you dump a lead because it was resolved for one or more variable reasons, that's great. That process of creating and resolving leads is going to get you what you want. All you have to do is introduce this opportunity. The right people will see it instantly. We've got a very defined system through the Tier 1 contact to confirm where you can do that without having to spend a lot of upfront time on the phone. You're getting a confirmation they want more information. You're sending the videos, following up. That's it. Follow-up is going to separate the high from the low earners. So definitely remember the key to this business, and really the key to a lot in business, is the follow-up. Unleash your digital entrepreneur. So this is an opportunity for you to take your skill sets, come in, work with seasoned entrepreneurs, help develop skill sets that you may not have had so that you can take this platform, run with it, and build a large-scale organization. Remember, there's a lot of money out there. Trillion-dollar industry, billion-dollar platform. You just have to have a game plan to go out there. As the marketplace changes from a traditional model to a digital model, when you're on the forefront of that change, you can have effective activity, effective management, effective leadership. There's really no stopping you. I mean, look at the market. The middle class is critically underserved right now. On a volume-based business like we have, that's where we're going to be hitting. Most people desire to be more financially fit, whether it's a client or a business partner. This is all what we're looking for. We're looking for the same type of things, the freedoms that are associated with, getting something built, a business, or from the client side, getting their financial house in order so they can breathe that little sigh of relief. And, most people desire to have greater career engagement. Most people out there, if you look at how many people are job hopping, if you look at the health of this economy right now, people are on the move. People are looking for opportunity where they don't have to be tied to the office, tied to the factory, tied to a geographic location, or more importantly, have to show up anywhere and waste gas, wear and tear on the car. It's risky to be on the roads today. So remember that. This is what you're going out, and this is part of your message. If you can get your message clear, concise, articulate, it's going to reach the right people. Also, don't forget, when you are building a cash flow asset for yourself and your business partners, it is the greatest asset that somebody can build for themselves. So it's appreciating assets. You have to have two things right. You have to have the direction in terms of the price movement, and you have to have the time nailed down. Usually what happens is we're holding appreciating assets, and the stock market falls, we lose our job, and we're selling where everybody else is selling. We have the consumption, 100%. You have the depreciating assets, those things that we buy, really don't need. And then the final thing is the cash flow asset. You have an opportunity to build a cash flow asset with basically no fixed and variable cost. It is an amazing opportunity. People that understand cash flow assets, understand how to get ahead in life, are going to be very interested in talking with you. The other people, we wish them best of luck going forward in whatever they decide to do. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you're going to work until you die. Same thing with Robert Kiyosaki. If you do not learn how money works, you will spend the rest of your life working for money. It's all about cash flow, guys. I've seen businesses, watching TV, the profit, he goes in there and they have so much revenue, they back out their expenses, they're in losses. So it's not about revenue, it's about cash flow. And if you look at the opportunity to build a business that's, has exponential reach, if you're talking about six figures, A, we can get you there on a bonus schedule per year, but even if you break $100,000 down, $273 a day. That's $11 an hour if you have a business that's running 24 hours. Not hard to make money if you know where to look and you know where to invest the most important investment you can have, which is time. And remember, when you're out there, guys, great companies are always looking to grow. If you're not growing, you're contracting and you're dying, basically. So when you look at the great companies out there, they hire, they invest, and they advertise. That's the three real pinnacles that you want to look. You want to look to hire qualified people. You want to look to make some investments when necessary, and you're constantly advertising for the product side and the business side. This is how great companies grow. We're no different. The only difference is we're hiring people who are willing to tie their income 100% to the revenue growth of this company, people that understand that. That's an incredible opportunity. The people that want to trade their time for money, once again, we're not going to argue. We're not going to rebuttal. We're not going to try to change their mindset. We wish them the best of luck going forward. Now, I'm not talking about when you first come in. I want you to treat this like a startup. Everything that we do, try to give you free tools and a lot of things to get your business up off the ground. But as you start to scale an organization and operation, you want to make some investments back into your business. If you can do that effectively and create a better opportunity and a better experience for the generations that come in after you, your business gets built bigger, their business gets built quicker, faster, they're staying around, they're happy. So once again, not in the beginning, but as you start to make money here, take a small amount and invest it into your business. But make sure you're not just randomly throwing money out there. Make sure that if you don't know what to do, talk to somebody, and make sure that you're beta testing stuff. Small amounts of money first to see if it works. If somebody's asking for a big contract, a big obligation in terms of months or years, stay away from that. Solid companies should allow you to come in and kind of put your foot in the water and test what they have to offer. Remember, think like a recruiter. We don't really like the word recruiting because it takes on a connotation of we're just hiring or bringing in people with, a breath and a pulse. This is a business opportunity. They've got to get licensed. They've got to pass a series of filters. They've got to understand what we're doing. They've got to have a good work ethic, and they've got to be excited about that. Remember, guys, excitement about this, if that's lacking and the other two are still there, it's probably not going to be a good fit because building any business from the ground up is a grind. So if you're not excited about the opportunity, those days in the foxhole of that day-to-day activity, might get a little bit much for you. We're hiring, and we want to hire character. We want to train skill. Also, one of the things that you guys need to understand and what we always set you guys up for as far as expectations, your first 10 or so people that you bring in, probably not going to be that great of a crop of people. And it's not your fault. It's just because you're still getting past the learning curve. So out of that first 10 people, if you can get one or two of those to stick, we take that as a victory because what's going to happen is as you go forward, you get better, the people that you bring in get better, and your ratio of people that are sticking, working, building gets higher. But in the beginning, it's all about just having the activity to get past those hurdles, that upfront period of time where you're going to basically trip over yourselves. Then when you start to become good at hiring, recruiting, headhunting, this is really what you want to look at. You have to be able to build rapport very quickly. That allows you to create an environment of trust and credibility where people start to divulge information from you. That information can lead to, it's got listed a problem. It can be a problem or a desire or a goal. That's going to allow you to create a solution for them, which leads to the action. Action from the product side, action from the business side, whatever it might be. You can become a very, very, very good headhunter if you learn this pyramid, you master it, and you take it forward because you're going to attract top talent. When you can do that, then all of a sudden your business becomes very flourishing, and all of a sudden the markets that those people open up are going to be like-minded people as well. Remember, without the rapport, you can't build the trust or credibility. Without that, you can't get the information, which will never unleash the problem, which you can never offer a solution for, which will never lead to action. So all of this equals mastery. It's not going to happen overnight. Try to get a little bit better at each one of these, and over time you develop that pattern, and you're going to have some great conversations on the front end. So ask yourself, what does my audience need to hear from me? So you got to figure out who's your audience, what do they need to hear from me, and get that message out in a clear and concise way. Ask for what you want. Don't tiptoe around the situation. This is what I'm looking for. Are you this person? If they're not, it's okay, guys. Don't bring people in on false pretenses. Don't bring the weak in. This is a business that has to get built, like I said, from the ground up. It's not the easiest thing in the world, not the most hardest thing in the world, but it's going to take some time, a little bit of grit, sweat equity, and that has to allow the time period to pass to have that activity compound to get you the results you're looking for. Learn how to attract and hire top talent. That's what you're looking for. This isn't an MLM where you get paid to bring people in. This is a business where you get paid to build an organization and build a company with talented people that can come in, consolidate this marketplace, expand our reach, and once again, take market share from the traditional model, flip it over to the digital. There is a wave of money on the way. You have to be able to put yourself in a position to capture that. And remember, the results you have absolutely no control over. Now, in the beginning, there is going to be a little bit of time where you're getting past the learning curve. So maybe your results aren't going to be as good as going forward. But overall, in the pattern of activity, if you have the activity, who knows what's going to happen? You can get product sales, you can get nothing, you can get potential business partners. People maybe won't even show up to the next call. Who knows what's going to happen? But if you do your job, have the activity, let it compound over a period of time, you're going to get results that revert back to a mean. So all of a sudden you can say, okay, on LinkedIn, I know that I'm going to have this many connections this month, this many people are going to respond back to the letter, this many people are going to get email number 1, this many people are going to streamline down to a tier 1 ABC. Once you know what you do and what activity or what results that activity gets off any of these platforms or any of the marketing that you do, it's very easy to scale your operation because it's simple math. If I increase my activity by X%, on the backside I should see an improvement by some variation of that X%. Until that time, if you're just having blanketed activity, no accountability, no reflection of that activity, it's going to take a lot longer for you to get to the point where you understand how to scale this operation. Remember, in the warm market, you guys and your partners know your warm market the best. So you're going to divide that up. It's very easy. Do I want to approach this person for a potential business opportunity, or do I want to approach this person from the sales? We've created an avenue on both sides where you're going to lead with a video. You're not going to have to do much talking. Can you watch these 2 videos? They're about a half hour long. I'm going to text you this video. It's under 3 minutes. Watch it. I'm calling you back in 5 minutes. Either way, you're not having to go out there with long scripts and have a lot of information on the back end where you need to relay. Let those videos do the work for you. Once you get out of the warm market, I pretty much lead my marketing with about 90% on the hiring or recruiting side, the other 10% on the product side. A client is great, but that's a one-way avenue. After the sale is completed, you're pretty much done unless they need other stuff as they go through the life cycle. Business partner can open up multi-million-dollar legs of distribution for you. That's why we concentrate on the business build-out side. From that whole process, clients, business partners, sales, revenue, growth, income, promotion, bonuses, trips, eventually that monster organization with business activity coast to coast. So remember what your main area of concentration is. It's finding qualified, talented people to bring them in the organization. And remember, the warm market will be fueled from the other activity. Cold market, social media will fuel that warm market lead generation. If you bring somebody in, they put 100 people in the CRM, they potentially want to contact for business partner opportunity, client sales. That's 100 warm leads that have come in, and that person actually knows. A lot easier to establish communication in the beginning for your partners with people they know. We're calling them for the business, for the sales of the products. Either way, once we get past the warm market, now they feel comfortable with the process. They know how to use the CRM. They know how to put things on the calendar. They're comfortable with talking on the upfront of the phone. Guys, if somebody comes in and they're refusing to even attempt to talk to anybody in their warm market, that is a leading indicator. If you can't talk to people you know, you're never going to be able to talk to people in social media, cold market, which is going to be, a lot of the business build out. Once you get past that warm market of your own, most of the business that you're doing is going to be cold market, social media, and then as partners come in, help them with the warm market that they have. So once again, as you build out, people bring in man hours, people bring in their own markets. It will really expand for you. But just understand that if somebody's unwilling to tap into their warm market, at the very least, if nothing comes out of the warm market, they're going to know how to use the CRM, feel comfortable on the phone, feel comfortable sending some videos, following up. That's the bare minimum they can get out of it. We might get a business partner, we might get product sales, Remember, there's billions and billions of dollars of premium that need to be moved over to these new products. It's all about just opening a conversation, finding those people, educating them on what's been happening in this industry, and the fact they may, always use the takeaway language, they may qualify for an important upgrade. 2 categories of leads. If you guys are putting out landing pages, if you guys put out a landing page and I see the landing page and I put in my name, my phone number, and my email address, that's an automatic lead that's going to automatically go in your CRM. You'll get a text and an email alert that you have a new lead. It'll tell you exactly what page it came from so you know what they saw. And it automatically goes on a drip email campaign over 90 days, 10 emails that come from your marketing system. Anything else that's not inputted by the other side, where you're capturing data off a landing page, has to be put into the system manually. Social media, cold market, whatever it is that we're doing, non-landing page have to be manually inputted into the CRM, and you manually communicate via the email campaign with them. Remember, in your back-end marketing system, you've got the landing pages, and you can connect those landing pages however you would like. So the 3 things you want to make sure you understand is this middle part, number 1, is the URL associated with that page. So if you've got GoDaddy vanity links, you would just forward those to this page. Now, whatever they see on the front page, after they put in their name, phone number, and email address, number 2 is the tour page. Where are you sending them after they put in their information? It's got to make sense. It's got to be relevant to the first part of the information they saw. We can help you guys with this. If you pick out landing pages and you say, I'm not sure where these go, how are they connected, we can hop on a screen share and we can fix those for you guys very quickly. And then down here is the message campaign. There's a default work at home campaign, but you can write your own campaigns, upload campaigns. So those are the 3 big things that you need to take into consideration: the URL, the tour page, and the message campaign. Deploy these landing pages. They work, and if you deploy a lot of them, you have a better chance of opening up more conversations. A lot of people come in our company and they never even go to the back end of this for the first number of months. That's a mistake. You need to learn the business backwards and forwards, because as you start to build the organization, if somebody has a question about this, you don't even know how to get back here, that's a problem. Remember, 1 landing page versus a lot of landing pages out there, far better chance of opening up conversations. And we've got all of these free classifieds in the back end that you can sign up for. You've got your social media accounts. You can run email campaigns. The more landing pages you have out there, the better opportunity is to capture data, open conversations, and build a pipeline of leads that can streamline down into possible clients or business partners. Your CRM is the brains of your operation. You cannot build a big business with massive distribution unless you master the CRM. Because if you don't, you're going to lose track of people. People are going to fall through the cracks. You're not going to know what you need to be doing as far as a manager, consultant, etc. So you need to learn the CRM. We're moving to the CMS system, but there's no difference in terms of the value or the importance of that system. So when you look at the CRM, let's just go through a quick walkthrough. What's important here? Because you need to understand how to use this for basic data entry coming in. So anything, like I said, outside of a landing page needs to be entered manually by you with as much information as you have on the prospect. So first name, last name, email, phone. You need the state and the time zone to access the manager's calendar. So if you get to a point you're trying to access somebody's icon for the calendar, it's not pulling up, most likely you're missing the state and the time zone. And then down here in notes, where did this lead come from? What is it about this lead that you know about? More information in here. The easier it is for you, because, guys, when you start talking to a lot of people, somebody calls back and you have no idea what you talked about before, it gives them a bad impression. When you can pull up the CRM and you got a ton of notes, now you can read those notes and pick up exactly where you left off. That's impressive to a candidate or a client. So make sure you're using this appropriately, getting in the proper notes for yourself and for the help in the upline management. Remember, you have the 6 company emails, 1 through 6. Company email number 1 has both videos, information about the industry, the commissions, the opportunity of a tech company, and some intro information about some of VF advantages. The problem when you're sending this through the CRM, yes, it's coming from your email, but it's being cycled to the CRM. So a lot of times what happens with these emails, it'll go into spam, junk folder. Most people don't see those emails coming through. So A, there's a Google Doc version available, but also you want to give people multiple opportunities to get to those videos. If I give them the email, I also give them a backup link, because if something happens with that email, lost in cyberspace, doesn't go to the inbox, I don't want the process of trying to resolve that lead to be held up from an email situation. And then notes, we talked about this, file history, easier conversation results. For you, for the manager, and for the consultant, should read like a book. How was this lead created? What's the follow through up to this date on what's happened with the lead? Very, very, very important that notes are going to build your business and build your communication with your team. That way you're not on the phone all day long calling people, what's happened with this file, what's happened with this file, giving them updates. It all runs to the CRM. And then also, don't forget, this middle section right here where new file, contact 1, 2, and 3, you can upload anything that's a PDF, resume, social profile, F&A, and miscellaneous important docs. If it's not a PDF, just print it to a PDF, upload it. Once again, if you've got social profiles, resumes for interviews, helps your manager. If you've got other documents that may be necessary for the consultation, and that's important for the consultant. So notes, files, all of these things will greatly help you and your business partners as you build out. And then track and schedule. So this is important. Where are they in the process? If they're a business partner, where are they in the training process? If they're a client, where are they? If they're doing a full-blown F&A, where are they? When's the next meeting? And remember, just like the business training, the clients, 24 to 48 hours is about the most you want to put the next appointment out to, because anything that drifts past 48 hours, all of a sudden the stick rate of those appointments starts to dwindle. So you want to keep it between 24 to 48 hours on both training and client-based presentations. Track your email. We gave you guys a link to a free email tracker. You should download that and you should use it. That way, you're sending an email off to a client, you're sending an email off to a business partner, you're going to know, you get an email tracker back. If you sent me an email, Mike just opened your email 38 seconds after you sent it. That way you know it wasn't lost in cyberspace, they received it. Now you can effectively know when you call them back, the email is not going to be a problem. It was received. So track your emails. It's a great time management and business management tool. Then effective communication. We talk about don't hide behind the keyboard. You've got to use all methods of communication, phone calls, text, email, social media messages. Once again, I've got voicemails from last week I still haven't listened to. I see every one of my texts that comes through every day, respond back to over 90% of those. Email, it depends on, a number of variables. And then also, remember, phone calls, it's still the best way that you're going to go out and reach somebody. If you get somebody on the phone, way easier to resolve the lead or instruct them on what they need to do next, if you get a hold of them. So don't get in the habit of just emailing, just doing social media messages. Use all preferred methods of communication so that you can resolve this lead. That's all we're asking you to do. Create and resolve leads. You're going to find who you're looking for. The prospect communication schedule is flexible and interchangeable. You've got text, emails, voicemails there. It's a step-by-step guide to following up with your prospects. Now, when we say follow up, remember, we're not talking about following up with people who've watched videos and you've talked to. We're talking about people following up that you either created a lead you haven't talked to, or you've talked to them and they were supposed to watch a video or 2 videos and you haven't spoken with them since then. If they watched the videos and you talked to them, there's one of 2 ways that lead goes, dumping or sending off to a manager. Prospect communication schedule gives you 10 attempts by text, 10 attempts by email, and I think about 6 voicemails if you don't reach them. It's a great communication schedule. Remember, push people to watch the videos. Don't push people to come into the company. If somebody says they're interested in learning more, it's your job to resolve that lead. If you can resolve it in 48 to 72 hours, that's a victory. You don't have to go through the whole process of doing the rest of that stuff. Resolve the lead, move on. You'll find people that you're looking for. And like we just talked about, there are multiple ways to get out those videos. Don't get stuck on one. If you send an email and you're talking to somebody, say, hey, I'm sending you an email titled whatever it might be on the lookout for it. Just in case you do not receive it, as soon as we terminate this call, I'm going to send you the link, direct link with access to both the videos. If you don't get the email, you've got the direct link. I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow. Remember, those are prerequisite videos. Please get through those today so we have something to talk about tomorrow. And your communication strategy. Remember, your website is the main kind of center of your communication strategies just because there's so much information there that somebody can have access to. And then revolving around your website, you've got your online strategy, you've got your social media strategy, your communication strategy. This whole flow will allow you to have a continuity, a uniformity to resolving these leads. That way you're just not throwing out random ineffective action. It's defined and it's very effective. Remember, /biz, that's your main site. /biz is going to be where you want the center of your marketing to be around because they've got access to the homepage, opportunity, virtual lifestyle, our crusade, our assembly line, revolutionary compensation, cutting edge resources, our foundation, and the careers. So they've got a lot of information here. This is a center point of your communication strategy. Remember, the tier 1 dictates the schedule and the communication. You've got to be the most confident person on that phone talking with that person because if you're not, they're the most confident person. They're going to lead the conversation. You always use the takeaway, prerequisite videos. No, we're not going to spend a half hour on the phone talking with you. If you're not willing to watch the videos, I'm not willing to invest any more time in this conversation. Now, I know that may sound harsh, but if you get into the habit of this, people are going to fall in line, either on one side of the fence or the other. Yes, I'll watch the videos, or no, not going to watch the videos. And then that dictates where we're going to take the conversation, dumping the lead or a follow-up. So always use the takeaway, prerequisite, videos. And don't worry about what people say to you, what people send you with messages. You know, in a business like this, really in the business world, you've got to expect you're going to have people that like you, people that hate you, and people that understand what you're doing. There's a huge amount of freedom that comes when you take nothing personally. You know, if somebody on LinkedIn is upset because you sent them a message, upset because you're trying to follow up with them, upset about something that you posted, you've got the power. If they get too annoying, you block them. They're done. So you always hold the power to get rid of the people that you don't want, you know, affecting your energy on that daily basis. Stop letting people who do so little for you control so much of your mind, feelings, and emotions. Everybody's got an opinion out there. They're more than willing to give it. Don't let people affect your day. If you let people affect your day, it affects your business, and then you're not in control of your final destiny. I just got lit up on LinkedIn yesterday or the day before because there was a post about the early retirement, trying to, you know, retire in your 30s or 40s. And I simply said, you know, you have to, if you're in a position where you can produce large amounts of income, should be a personal responsibility of you to go out there and do that because you give back on a surplus. Well, people attack me for that. You know, I answered back a little bit, tried to get my point of view across, but at the end of the day, I just moved on. I didn't erase anything. I didn't do anything to cover this up. People are going to have different opinions than you. You know, state your point, stand your ground, but don't get in the habit of arguing with too many people. It's a waste of time. Remember, this whole entire circle is another filter. So the tier 1 is the front door of your business. You let people in you want, keep people out that you don't. If it's a business partner that you let in, they pass those upfront filters, they pass the interview process. This is another filter that we put in. It's going to train them on the overall business model, but it's also going to put them to a point where they've either got to commit to this, have effective time management, show up for these, do the necessary homework, or not. If they fall off, we're not worried about that. They may come back on, they may not. Keep moving the ball down the field with the team that you have in place that's actually working, trying to make this happen. Those are the people that are worthy of your investment, time, energy, resources, labor. Also, this is pretty much the formula. You open conversations that lead to videos on the product side and the business partner side, and that leads to a lot of dumping of the leads and then some ABC calls where your manager will help you. Manager's job is to help you sort those people out who've gotten to this point as a client, as a business partner, or neither. So your key to the business and what you're supposed to be doing is very simple. You open conversations that funnel the videos, and that sets up ABC calls where we can help you. And then at a certain point, you're going to say, I've heard you do this 10, 15, 20 times. I don't need you for this or this anymore. It's a great day. This person's starting to evolve as a business partner. In the beginning, all we want you to do is open conversations. We'll help you close those. You watch what's going on. You shadow the organization's growth, still your income, still your agency and business growth. People are doing it for you. That's a huge advantage. Yesterday I had a partner, relatively new. We did an ABC call the other day. He came into the company yesterday. The guy was at his main job. He gets off work, gets notification, this guy's in the business. That is a huge advantage when you can build a business and you don't have to have full commitment up front. So make sure you take that into consideration when you're talking to people in the open marketplace. And like we just said, Tier 1 ABCs are a key to the business. If you can start developing a pattern of activity that leads to these calls, your business is going to get built. Also remember, we're not traveling around, thank God. We're not in an office. We're not going to people's houses. So the traditional model of making a good impression has nothing to do with us. Now it's all about what you say, how you say it, understanding your business assets, command of simple technology, and the organization of your presentation. That's how you make a good impression out there in a digital environment with a digital model. Command of simple tech, you've got to nail that. We talked about last week, an app of the week was free conference call. We'll introduce another one next week. But all of you guys should be able to do a screen share without screwing up, without taking long periods of time. If you cannot do that, it's going to hurt your business on the front end. If you're advertising yourself as an innovative, disruptive technology company, you can't do a screen share, it's going to give people the wrong impression. And remember, when you have an organization start to build, if the manager and the consultants can get into a kind of a synchronized way of doing business together by using the CRM effectively, there's no stopping you guys. If there's, sparse communication, no notes, no communication going between the manager and the consultant, that's going to create a disconnect in the organization, not only for your organization that you're building, but for other people coming in. They're going to learn. Just like that very old, I think from the 80s, the DARE commercial, to keep your kids off drugs. Learned it from watching you, Dad. Learned it from watching you, Mom. People are going to learn their business from watching you. If you don't do things correctly, business is going to suffer big time. Team communication. CRM is the brains of your operation. Texting, emailing, outside of that is fine. But those notes provide everybody with call to actions, updates, and really creates a nice flow to your business. Don't sign people up and forget about them. We're not in an office. No one's reporting anywhere every day, but you've got to communicate with these people. Let them know, hey, I'm your partner. I'm here for you. But you've also got to have expectations from both sides. We're going to have expectations that they do the work on the front end. They've got expectations we set up of what we're going to provide from our end, but you need to be in contact with your business partners. And you need to manage from a state of inspiration. This isn't a corporate thing where you're bringing down the iron fist, do this, or, it's my way or the highway, but you lead from inspiration. This is, what you want to do. This is what you want to build. This is how you're going to get there. This is how you're going to avoid roadblocks, obstacles, pitfalls that I've encountered. I'm trying to set this up so that you avoid all that preemptively before you really even know they're there. Team communication is a must. And then remember, a canceled appointment is not the same as a no-show. So if you've got a Monday appointment, you need to confirm with that person Saturday or Sunday, make sure that's still on. If you set it on Thursday and it's on Monday, if you've got zero communication in those next 72 hours, the high probability those people are going to forget, no-show. So once again, if you talk to somebody or they contact you, I need to move the appointment, I need to cancel the appointment, that's fine. That's acceptable. No-shows are not acceptable. You start getting too many no-shows, then all of a sudden you start to doubt yourself, and all of a sudden you're not having as much activity, there's white space on the calendar, and then all of a sudden this business model, you feel like, hey, I can't do this, it's not working for me, and that doubt starts to allow you to drift, maybe eventually quit. So grab the bull by the horns in terms of your marketing, in terms of your follow-up, be the aggressive person, take charge. And you've got to fight ignorance and educate yourself. If you come into this business for 4 or 5 months and you really haven't learned anything about being a better manager, marketer, and possibly consultant, it's going to hurt your business. And it's going to hurt your business partner's ability to lean on you because they don't think they can get much out of you. So fight ignorance, keep educating yourself, remain curious, and keep learning. If you just carve out a little bit, and 45 minutes is great. If you can carve out 15 to 20 minutes a day to learn about whatever it is that you want to learn about, once again, YouTube is a great place to go. It's a huge library where you can look up anything you possibly want to learn about, sit down, and go through it. 15, 20 minutes a day compounded over the next 90 to 120 days is really going to help you and help your business partners. Remember, you're an educator. Whether you're working with clients or business partners, you are educating them. So you have to be effective in your commitment, your dedication, your commitment to excellence, and your compassion towards the business partner or the client. You can't talk down to people. You can't berate people. Once again, you want to talk from a point of view and a pulpit of inspiration. I can help you from the client side. I can possibly help you from the business partner side. You're an educator. Remember, if you're educating people on the power of living benefits, whether they have an existing term or insurance that could possibly be upgraded or they have zero, remember the statistics, guys, that a lot of American families don't have money to fall back on. So if there's an income disruption for 3 or 4 months, most every family out there is going to feel it. So when you're going through a typical analysis of somebody, we're talking about the income, we're talking about the expenses, we're talking about the available credit, we're talking about what assets they have, what debt they owe. But the main area of concentration for our crusade is what happens when the income stops for a period of time. Well, you're going to go into debt, you're going to max out all your available credit, you're going to prematurely attack assets if you have any, and then eventually when that runs out, you're still not back to a recovered state, then things start to happen. Fall behind, debt default, bankruptcy, foreclosure, the spouse leaving you. So this is a standard of living protection. Remember, no one thinks you're going to get cancer, no one thinks you're going to get a heart attack, no one thinks you're going to become disabled, but if it were to happen, what does tomorrow look like? In other words, if yesterday you had a heart attack, stroke, cancer, became disabled, what does things look like for your family today? And that's a big part of what we do. Because remember, as the living benefits, kind of parallel what happens in the household versus the top, when the income plummets and the expenses go through the roof, that's a double-edged sword. Those living benefits come in and kind of parallel that period of time, give you a fighting chance to protect that standard of living, to give you an opportunity to maybe get recovered, get back to earning income, and kind of right the ship. Gives them a fighting chance, guys. And then also remember, you need to understand that we have a bunch of products, 200 carriers, 500 different products. If you've got somebody coming in and studying for their test, net law is a great way. You don't have to have any special license. It's a great way to go out there and not only try to find some people that need this particular service, but also if you get them early with this type of service, when you get licensed, you can circle back around and see what else they need. Because remember, net law provides a digital online vault, estate planning, trust, wills, etc. If you're out there talking to somebody and they've got small kids, well, they need a will with basic instruction language on what happens to those kids if something were to happen to both the parents. Now, by leading with that, now you're going to say, okay, in the digital online vault, this is what goes in. Your normal insurance stuff, your retirement assets. Oh, you don't have those? I can possibly help you out with that as well. So remember, we got a big cycle, a big platform of products. Don't get stuck on a mindset of just a couple. We have the best selling, but you should be in a position where you can offer your client whatever it is they need based on their situation, resources, and what they're looking to do. Basic things to succeed. I mean, you guys can look through this, good profit on each item, move the inventory, good return on investment, watch the cash. The cash flow asset where we have no inventory, it's on an as-is or an as-needed basis. Somebody needs insurance, we get it. We don't have a stockpile or a factory full of insurance policies up to the ceiling. So you have all these things that are benefits and advantages for you, and then accountability to goals. That's, we talk about this all the time. Growth mindset, activity, accountability of the activity, and reflection to make sure that you're getting to the point where you want to go. You want to be this guy out in the lead. You don't want to be back in the pack with the rest of everybody else. Now, our digital model allows you to have a lead, but you've got to take that company lead and develop a personal brand, develop marketing skills, legs that will allow you to jump out ahead of, other people in the company, other people in the industry, even other people on the team. There's nothing wrong with competition from within. It helps everybody out. Be accountable. If you're accountable and we know what you're doing, it's a lot easier for us to help you Then if you say, I'm not getting the results I'm looking for, what are you doing? Well, do a little LinkedIn every, a little bit every week, or I do this or that. That's blanketed statements from our side too. If you know exactly what you're doing, it's a lot easier for us to identify and correct problems early on. Be accountable. If you turn in your numbers by Sunday at 9 p.m., I offer feedback, month-end recap. If you're going over and beyond to try to help yourself and your business, we're going to do the same as well. So when will you? If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. And that's what we talk about all the time. What do you want? My goals are different from your goals. Map out what you want, figure out a way to get there, and start working towards that. If you made the decision to come in this company and you're excited about what we do, excited about the opportunity for yourself, and you forecast what it might look like down the road for yourself, financial, time, lifestyle freedom, the only thing left in the middle that you have to do is the activity. Another problem that I see in our organization is without day-to-day activity, with just intermittent activity, you feel overwhelmed. So if you're only logging onto your platforms, only doing a few things every week, that not being able to establish that rhythm of activity puts you in a very disadvantaged place, because now you know that menial activity and daily tasks pile up and you become overwhelmed, don't feel like doing it, and that compounds on top of itself. Good habits or bad habits are going to stick. If you stay on top of the schedule, this is really not hard. In the beginning, you set everything up. That's a little bit of a hurdle. We help you with that. After that, all you're doing is a constant rhythm activity, becomes second nature, putting people in different slots for different types of, either continuous activity or getting rid of them. One thing I will say about that, guys, if you dump a lead for non-communication, go ahead and take that email and add it to your email address, because 6 months, 9 months later might be a better time, and it might get back with you. So if you've dumped it because you've resolved it, don't do it. If you dumped it for non-communication, it's always an email you can add to your list. And then the office is going to be open. We started this for the 12-week year, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to leave the office open Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we'll leave it open for 30 or 45 minutes. Anything anybody needs, you can join in the office. Questions, help, concerns, clarification, whatever it is that you need. So Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, office will be open for about 30 to 45 minutes. That's about all I've got for you guys today. Like I said, there are a lot of past meetings that have a lot of great information. So if you've got a partner wanting to know more information about a certain subject, topic, email me or text me. I'll pull up it on the YouTube back end, and I'll send it to you and your partner. There's a lot of great information there. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and shoot. If you need to talk to us on a private kind of scale, let us know that as well.
All right, another great presentation. Thank you so much, Mike. We've got a few minutes left, so we can open up the floor. Anybody can star 6. Everybody's voice is valuable, and we all get to learn from each other. That's what makes our group the best group. So go right ahead.
One quick thing, everybody. I learned something Diana Burrell and I both learned. We bring people in. The AMA, when you do the $39.95 through the PayPal, it doesn't take you to the page. So I suggest anybody coming into the business, if you're doing a tier 2, those of you know how to do it, which I hope you're learning how to do this, instead of using PayPal, use the credit card information now until that gets fixed on the back end.
No. You can't do that, because the credit card information is going to create a free PayPal for them. And if they already have a PayPal with that email address, it's not going to go through. They're going to need to reset their password. I've actually been working with this one-on-one. Sometimes when you pay the $39, it takes you to a screen. You can click here, and it'll re-forward you to where you can set up their stuff. I also have a direct link to that. So, okay. Just talk to me one-on-one about that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Because I would not recommend. Yeah, I would not recommend putting in their email address, because they have to have a PayPal basically. So, but that's good feedback. Thank you.
It's just not taking us to that page. That's all. So it'll be a little disruptive at the moment.
I've got the direct link to that page.
Okay,
perfect. It should be fixed hopefully today, but I will. I'll send it to you. Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
So hopefully
Thank you so much for everything you guys do. Thank you so much again for everything you do. I've got to rock and roll. Everybody have a great week, and keep up the good work, everybody. We're on something very special, everybody. It's getting better and better every day and every week. Just stay with it, and you'll have great things happen. That I can tell you. It's becoming really an awesome time. Thanks again, Mona.
Thank you, David. And you're doing a great job. Okay, thanks so much. Anybody else? The floor is yours. You can star 6. I would love to hear from you. Also, if you want to reach us individually, we're here for that as well. So we'll keep it open for another minute or two, and then I'll go ahead and close it down. Hope everybody has a wonderful and productive day.